Hello everyone, good morning. I hope you are doing fine today. And the topic for this day is going to be the phrasal verbs. So in this verse, we're going to continue by watching an interesting video. Okay. Okay, now that we have watched the video about a situation, and we were observing the phrasal verbs inside the video, inside the conversation, inside the non-was sentence. Okay, now to continue, we have the phrasal verb. A phrasal verb is a combination of two words, usually a verb and a preposition that create a phrase with a different meaning. That is to say, in other words, that we have the different examples of the phrasal verbs, like turn on. For example, turn on, is a phrasal verb. It's a combination of two words. So in this case, the main verb is going to be turn, and the preposition is going to be on. Okay, and the phrasal verbs is made up of the main verb and the particle. In this case, the particle is going to be on. There is a preposition. Okay. To continue, we have the grammar rules. In the grammar rules, we have that an object, in this case, an object, but a phrasal verb can appear. Number one, after the phrasal verb. For example, they turn out the volume. Okay, or in the middle of the phrasal verb, they turn the volume up. Okay, in this case, the rule it's very simple. It's very easy to understand. So we have the direct object after the phrasal verb. What is the phrasal verb in this part? The phrasal verb is this, turn out. Turn out is the phrasal verb. The volume is the direct object. So in the second example, we can observe that the volume, that is the direct object, is going to come out before the particle. And the particle is at. Okay, so I'm going to show you this part. The particle is at. Okay, this is the particle. And as I was telling you before, the particle is the preposition. Okay, now we have a section in the number 3. In the number 3, but if the object is a pronoun, it must be in the middle. For example, they turn it on. Okay, so in this case, it is the pronoun, right? Here it could be a different pronoun. We can say, we can use I mean, we can use they, he, she, I, us, our, okay? And if the pronoun, if you're going to use a pronoun, the pronoun is going to be always before the particle. The particle is out. Okay, so remember, we have in this part we have the main verb and we have the particle. Okay, here we have some examples, and as I was telling you before, for transitive and intransitive verbs. Okay, in this case we have the transitive phrasal verbs, and the example is take off. Take off is to remove the clothing. To remove the clothing, this is my jacket, so I'm going to take off my jacket. Okay, so the correct form is Sarah took off her jacket. So we have took off, there is the phrasal verb, her jacket, jacket direct object. And the second example is Sarah took her jacket off. Okay, so if you can see, this example is covered as well, because the particle is separated by the noun. The noun is the jacket. In my example, okay, in my case, this is my jacket. Okay, this is my jacket. Okay, and the incorrect form, Sarah took off it. Why? Because in the previous example, I was explaining you that if it is a pronoun, the pronoun is going to come before the particle. So the correct form in this case, it will be Sarah took it off. That is the first one. Okay, so we have in this part some transitive phrasal verbs, and the transitive phrasal verbs need an object. For example, I'm looking for my keys. This is a transitive phrasal verb. The direct object is my keys. For example, if you look for something, in an object. Of course, if I just write, I'm looking for, in period, that is incorrect. So you have to complete the sentence with a direct object. What are you looking for? Are you looking for your keys, for your jacket? Okay, that's it. Then we have the intransitive phrasal verbs, and the intransitive phrasal verbs cannot have an object. Okay, for example, my car broke down this morning. Intransitive phrasal verbs don't need an object, don't need a direct object. You can just say, okay, I break down something. I wake up. Okay, I wake up early. Okay, but early is not a direct object. Okay, in this case, we have a grew up. I grew up in New Zealand. Okay, where did you grow up? In New Zealand, but it's not a direct object. Okay, and here we just have some more examples for phrasal verbs that are transitive and intransitive. And these are some sections. Okay, in the previous example, I was explaining you the phrasal verb take off. So here it is the same. As a transitive verb, I'm going to use it. He took off his tie when he gets home. As an intransitive verb, it's going to be the plane will take off in 10 minutes. Okay. Why it's an intransitive verb here? Because we are talking about the plane, right? The plane take off in 10 minutes. Okay. So 10 minutes is not a direct object. Okay. Sometimes the meaning of a phrasal verb changes depending on whether the phrasal verb is transitive or intransitive. In this case, we are talking about a clothing or an item. Okay. In the second one, take off means to leave the ground and begin to fly. Okay. Another example of this part is storm out. We have the phrasal verb storm out, and the example is they storm out of the meeting again. That is to say, the meaning is to leave angrily. Okay, you are in a meeting, you are discussing a project, and suddenly you storm out, and you leave the meeting angrily. So that is the meaning of the phrasal verb. Remember that a phrasal verb is compound or is made out of two words, the main verb and the particle. And in this case, the main verb is storm. The storm is the main verb and the particle is out. Okay, so let me see. I'm going to show you. Okay, so in this case, storm is the main verb and out is the particle. And together, they are going to form a different meaning. That is to live in. Okay, so that's it for this day. And we have some examples. For example, break into, break out, break down, bring up, bring over, and blow out. Okay, and for this we have some exercises that you're going to fill. You're going to fill in each of that with the correct form of the phrasal verbs. So the previous phrasal verbs are these ones, okay, that you're going to use. And thank you so much for everything. I hope that you have understood everything. And if you have any question, I will be able to give you an answer, okay? Thank you so much, and